So the context is that we're looking at systems that are very complex with a lot of pieces that interact. And in aviation, there are high tech. That means there's continuous innovation. They are tightly coupled. There's ongoing evolution. So that means we're always on a learning curve because we never really sort of settle down with yesterday's technology. We're always improving to tomorrow's technology. So what we see in that construct is that safety issues are most likely issues of interaction between the various subsystems. They're not just a stovepipe, one subsystem problem. They are usually interactions between the parts of the subsystem, and that's good news and bad news. The good news is that means the system is so robust that one thing gone wrong is not usually enough to hurt somebody. So that's good news. The bad news is because it takes so many links in the chain to produce a bad result, that means there's no obvious point of intervention that says if we fix it right here, then we have fixed the problem. So that's kind of the good news and the bad news. So with increasing complexity, we see three opportunities for increasing the likelihood of human error. First of all, the system is just so complex that it's very, very difficult to design it to not be error prone. Second is the people who design the system, they usually are designers of subsystems of the systems, and they oftentimes do not appreciate the totality of the circumstances in which their subsystem will operate. So that means oftentimes the operators of the system encounter situations that even the designers didn't anticipate. So now the operators in our business, we call that a test pilot, and that's what we don't want. We never want test pilots in commercial aviation. Sully was a test pilot. We have never had a commercial airliner run into birds and lose all of the engines at one time. So he's a test pilot. He's now on a glider. They've never been trained to land a glider in the Hudson River. I mean, he was just an amazing test pilot because that was a situation that even the designers did not anticipate. We've had plenty of bird strike encounters. We count them hundreds of those a year, but it takes out one engine, the airplane comes back, it smells bad to the passengers because they smell roasted bird now in the airplane, but it comes back okay. My son was on one taken off from Atlanta, so that happens all the time, but we never had one take out both engines. So he was a test pilot. That's what we don't want in our business. Then likewise, the people who design the book and the procedures and the rules and regulations on how to do it, oftentimes they don't anticipate the best way to do it either. So oftentimes the people who have a lot of background experience training say, well, the rule says to do it this way, but I know that if I do it this way, I can actually accomplish the job better, quicker, faster, cheaper. And this is the foundation of these systems that we're talking about, is good people trying to do the right thing the best way possible. These are good people who are trying to accomplish the mission as efficiently and effectively as possible. So if they see that the rule says do it this way, but they can do it better that way, then they will do it that way. And nobody says anything until something goes wrong, and then they'll say, you didn't follow the rule, did you? Time to punish you. So that's the dilemma we have, is with these complex systems, we have so many scenarios that arise that people who design the systems and people who design the processes and procedures don't foresee that it's up to the operator, and that's where the training of the operator is so crucial.